So today we're talking about how to hear substitutions. Substitutions are something that we all want to play, right? We want to get that nice crunchy sort of like outside sound. We want to create a lot of tension and release in our solos. And I think that a lot of us, we know the theory behind substitutions. We know where to use them. But at least for me, when I first got started with some of this stuff, it was never clear enough. Like if I listen back to myself and be like, I know I was trying to use a substitution there, but it just kind of sounded like a muddled mess. And what I wanted to gain was a little bit more clarity, to harness the power of the substitution to create a really cool, really tense sound that I could then release. And this work that I'm about to show you is really the key to me starting to be able to use this stuff in an effective way. All right, so let's dive into it. So the first thing that we want to do with the information I'm about to show you, the way to get started with this, is we want to find a long 2-5-1 progression. So basically one where we get one bar, one full bar of the 2 chord, one full bar of the 5 chord, and then we land on the 1 chord. So let's do it in the key of concert F major, all right? Now, the second step is to, over the first bar of the long 2-5-1, we're gonna condense the 2 chord and the 5 chord over that 1 bar. So in essence, we're just gonna turn it into a short 2-5-1, right? So you can see over the first bar, we're gonna do G minor 7 to C7. And then over the second bar, the place where generally we like to create that tension so that then we can release it over the 1 chord, what we're going to do is we're going to think about a short 2-5-1, but a tritone away. So that's right. For this video, we're going to use the tritone substitution because it's just so ubiquitous. It's everywhere in jazz. We had to pick one, so let's use tritone substitution. So we've got the original 2-5-1 now condensed over the first bar, and we've got a 2-5, a tritone away over the second bar, and then we're simply just going to release that in the third bar. Okay, so now we have our chord layout, we have our actual substitutions that we want to use. Now the second step is, and this is the real key, we want to play something that is super, super clear. And I don't know about you, but when I think clarity, I think about using chord tones, right? Because if I were to play, there's not going to be much doubt in anybody's mind that I am outlining a concert G minor 7 chord. And that's the beauty of like triads and chord tones and arpeggios. They're very, very, very clear. So what I want to do is I want to come up with a little short cliche, lick, line, whatever you want to call it, over those first changes. So the first one that I'm going to come up with is, that's really clear, isn't it? Now, all I want to do is I want to take that exact piece of vocabulary that I just came up with or I stole from somebody else, and I just want to transpose it a tritone away. Now, what is that doing? It's about as clear as we can be with the sound of playing something, then substituting the changes a tritone away. We're hearing that so, so, so clearly. And what it does is it starts to get our ears to recognize what it sounds like to play something, then substitute the chords a tritone away, and we start to be able to form a conception around that so that then later on, when we're doing things that aren't planned out, we sort of know whether we're being clear enough, and then we can tweak everything that we're doing. So listen to it again. Hear how clear and amazing and indicative of the tritone substitution sound that is? So let's do one more. Let's take another, what I think is a really clear line. We'll start with this. That's, again, just outlining arpeggios. So again, then what we do is we just take that line and we transpose it to the keys that tritone away, and we play it again. Hear how clear that is? Now, your ear is actually probably starting to wrap your head around what the tritone actually sounds like. And that's the beauty of this stuff. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a tune. And at first, I'm going to plug these lines in exactly over the 2-5-1 progressions. And then I'm going to free myself up a little bit and test my ability to actually just play with these substituted changes in mind and see if I'm being clear enough, see if I'm happy with the sound. So I love certain tunes for practicing like 2-5-1 material. And I'm going to use actually Solar because it has these two just very, very clear, long 2-5-1s in two different keys. Some other tunes that are great for this would be a tune like Minority, Tune Up. There's a lot more, but any of these tunes with these like really, really clear multiple key long 2-5-1 progressions would be perfect for this. So let's see what happens. The first two choruses, I'm going to generally try to just play these lines verbatim so that, again, I get the sound in my ear, I hear it in context. And then for the third and the fourth chorus, I'm going to try to free myself up a little bit and test my ability to just play the substituted changes in an effective way. We'll see what happens. You know, and I feel like the first two choruses where I was generally trying to just plug in these two phrases, I feel like what that did was it sort of primed my ears and my brain and my fingers on what a really clear substitution sounds like. So then when I freed myself up and I was just like improvising over all that stuff, I actually think the results were pretty good. I actually heard the sound of the tritone and I sort of played it in a relatively well-structured way, and I was pretty happy with the results. So what can you do right now to start getting this stuff happening? Again, come up with really, really clear lines over a short 2-5, play it then play it a tritone away and figure out how to resolve it to the one chord, and then quickly move on and start to apply this stuff over tunes. And you probably have experienced it just from watching this video. Your ears are probably way more attuned to the tritone substitution already, okay? So give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments below if this is a method that you've done before or if this sounds interesting to you. And if you like this kind of stuff and you want to work on these types of things with myself and Chris Claxton on a regular basis, consider joining up to the Jazz Intensive. That's Chris and I's online jazz education group. We really do a lot of work over there with this kind of stuff. You get personal feedback. We meet multiple times a week. There's a lot of courses over there. It's really just a great place if you want maybe 2025 to be a really focused year of study. You'll be able to find more information about that in the description below. And I hope you think about coming to join us. We have a blast over there. All right, hope you're all doing well, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.